Welcome, Football Amigos. We are back for the new season. It's your boy Mide as always. Welcome to the 2024-2025 season. Yes, Amigos, we're back. We've missed you. Hope you all are going a wonderful summer. I see some of our amigos up there and they're looking all sharp and all muscular throughout the season. Of course, we have amigo to the left. We have Ayo. Ayo, how you doing?
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Awesome. Of course, Sam with all white teeth, good looking. He had to. He had to.
I'm
How are you
doing
doing today, sir?
okay, doing well, ready to go. All right, all
Yes,
right.
amigos. Yes, amigos. We've missed you so much. I hope you all have had a wonderful summer. Fall is here. The season is about to start. Premier League season. All the leagues are about to start their different seasons. We've had cups over since last week. Yes, Man City beat United, but I had some positives from that game. We'll talk about that. But today, amigos, we wanted to kind of set the stage for the season. Of course, we'd love to hear from you all. Please like, share, and subscribe at the bottom. For today, we're going to be focusing on top six, right? We wanted to find out based on the preseason review, because of course, different teams travel to different countries. Some of our teams, with Liverpool, with Sam, Arsenal with Ayo, and of course myself with Manchester United, we travel to different countries to play preseason games. So we're going to have some review about that and what we've noticed that might lead into some of the challenges or some of the encouragements to see from the season from these three different teams. Of course, we're going to talk about our predictions for top six based on different criteria that we'll talk about each. We're going to talk about predictions for this weekend. Yes, the season starts this weekend first. Again, with Manchester United versus Fulham on Friday. And then we will wrap it up with some of our interesting opinions about how we see the season go. So we'll start the preseason review. Sam, we'll start with you first. How did Liverpool do this preseason? Again, they have a new coach in Arne Slot. They haven't really bought any players. They sold Carvalho to Fulham, I believe. Talk to us. How did they do in preseason?
Pretty much impressed by the results, but the game style, I don't think we'll be up there in this season. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Again, I'll talk about Carvalho. I don't think they should let players like that go, but we'll see.
No, fair point. Fair point. Did you see anything interesting about just how they played in terms of attack that might be different from Klopp? Or do you see a challenge this season based on some of the things you've seen in preseason?
I see. What I see is the players are. I'm seeing a lot more triangular marking, like they closing down on opponent like crazy. I don't. It's impressive, but I don't know what that would look like when you start playing Premier League consistently like that, and it leaves your defense open. I'm also not impressed with not making some purchases, but we'll
Mhm.
see. We'll talk more about that down the line.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Can't wait to hear that, amigo, especially from Sam with Liverpool. Like always, amigos, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comment section what you thought about Liverpool's preseason. What are the things you like that you saw that's different from Jurgen Klopp versus Andy Slot, the new coach? What are the things that you think might be a challenge to them? We'd love to read that. Aya, we'll go with you. Arsenal, preseason. What did you think? How did they do?
It was good. It was good. They're over here in the States. It was a shame I couldn't go see them because they weren't like close enough. But I loved what I saw from the preseason because I think it just showed me uh, a glimpse of the players that were coming through, which because we were very curious to see specifically Waneri to see if he was good because he's
Mm-hmm.
17 now. He should be turning 18 very soon. But we're the expectation, the hope was he was going to start getting integrated into the first team squad. And from what we saw, he's a baller, and so that was good to see. Skelly was really good, and he played left back, but he's really a midfielder. But he played left back, and he played an inverted left back, and he was great. And even some of the people that you didn't expect to. We had a new academy defender. I mean, not new, but at least first time for me, Heaven, and even Hein played in goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And as I watch the games, and I don't see Arteta trying to reinvent the wheel. I think he's doubling down on what got success, and he's looking for ways to solve some of the issues we had before. A big issue we had, obviously, this was all things considering the fitness of Timber. Ball progression from the back is a problem like Calafiore was brought in to solve, and it was just good to see. Like the United States one, I didn't really get too much from because we didn't field starters in very key areas. Like a lot of the players that really mattered for the way Arsenal
Right.
played were back, and so it was by the time we got back here and we played Bayern Leverkusen and we played Leon, I believe. Then it was clear clear that what we're trying to do. So we're doing exactly what we did last season. We're just doing it better and more ruthlessly. And so you see a lot of out of possession work. This is a team that is designed to kill the opponent's momentum, to suffocate them, to outcompete them, to pressure them, to force them into errors, and to capitalize on the errors. And we did that excellently against Bayern Leverkusen. And they start in 2 weeks, so maybe a week later than schedule. But they had their full team, and we still sunned them. And Leon was the only issue for me because that was our starting lineup, a normal starting lineup where it was actually what we expect to see, and then the chemistry kind of died a little bit. So there might be a question of, is our starting 11 as we had towards the end of last season the right one, or do some people need to step aside in not because they're bad, but in pursuit of better chemistry? Otherwise, with the transfers, I was a little bit disappointed with one or two transfer talk. I was really, really excited for the Zubimendi thing, and then it turned out he was going to Liverpool. Then it turns out he's just staying. So I guess all is well that ends well. But other than that, I'm pretty impressed by what I see with Calafiore. It's nice to see. It's a good indication of what's really important, which is the ball progression from deep. And yeah, I'm excited. I think watching Man City over the course, I think there's a lot of questions were asked last season, and it's not clear that those questions have been answered. So I'm going for I think they're going to do really well for themselves. But we'll go to predictions later. But I'm supremely confident for this season. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, even the addition of Calafiori, we all know how well he did in Euros, and to me, he's just slots into the Arsenal team whenever he plays, and you have your Timber back as well. So I think Arsenal is looking strong in defense to the point that if Gabriel and what's help me remember the other center back's name,
Saliba.
Gabriel and Saliba, if each of them are not playing well, there are people ready to take their spots. Which again, you want that healthy competition in every team and in every spine to be able to make sure that everyone's on their toes and they're giving 110% every week. Again, that's what breeds champions. Again, Arteta is finding ways to create this environment where you sink or you swim. So again, it's very impressive that I've seen there. In terms of United, we had a very interesting preseason. It looked to me that not only did we bring in different coaches, right? We also brought in 2 signings. As of yesterday, we brought in another 2. So Ineos have been hitting their check marks and their milestones. Some people might say we wanted it quicker. That's okay. I believe with the addition of Van Nistelrooy, the coach from the Eredivisie that came in, and a couple of other coaches that specialize in set pieces and, of course, finishing, that team is looking better in terms of how they play. First, they went to Scotland, right? And they played there. They beat Rangers 2-0. Then they came to United States. What we started to realize is some players have left, but some players are still there that shouldn't be there. I don't want to necessarily call names. We've already talked about some of these players before. The fact that what's now happening with Ineos is they're still bringing in these players as an indirect way to say, if that player is in your position, you might not play much. That's just the bottom line. So I think it's going to be an interesting last weeks of the transfer window with United. Ugarte is still another player that I think they're going to focus on after buying Matuari and Delit as of yesterday into today. They've passed their medicals. So that's already 4 players. Euro, very sad situation that he got injured. He looked like a phenomenal. He already looked ready made for that defense. But again, he's young. He'll get back. And I'm not too bothered. And of course, Xerxes. Can't wait to see him on against Fulham on Friday. Looking forward to seeing how he develops in that team. What I liked about United is the fact that the way they attack now is improved a lot. The way they play, the combinations, the pass and move, it's improving a lot. I still don't know what their formation is because I'm seeing we play 4-2-3-1, and then against City we're playing 4-2-4. So again, within 5 to 10 games, that's when I'll probably know what exactly their formation is. But change is good. Change is good. In terms of things I don't necessarily like, defense is still a problem. Defense is still a problem. And we have to find a way to be defensively strong if we want to make top 4. Because personally, that's be my prediction, making the top 4 and maybe a cup. Just keep it at that. So, amigos, let us know what your thoughts are about those 3 teams. Liverpool for Sam, Arsenal for Ayo, and of course myself for Manchester United. Let us know how their preseason went and some of the challenges you noticed. In terms of top 6, Ayo, we'll start with you. What are you thinking? Top 6. Again, it's a prediction. Let us know why you think the reason why for each team. And Sam, I'd like to hear your thoughts as well too, based on what he's mentioned. Ayo, go for it. What do you think? Top 6 Premier League this season.
Top 6. This is the first season out of I actually said this in a while, but my top first position I think is going to be Arsenal. I'm backing him this season.
Ooh.
And that is simply based on both what I've seen from Arsenal in the preseason and what I've seen from Man City in the preseason. I think there were a lot of questions about the fluidity and their ability to impose themselves on a game last season for Man City. And so far, over this course of the preseason, those questions have not been answered. And some of the new acquisitions from last season, and I guess combined with people who are outgoing this season, I don't think that base of quality is quite there yet. But then again, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne cannot be on a slump for forever, and Rodri's going to be back, and so you put those 2 back in, and it might be service as usual. But I do think they're there to be challenged. So I think Arsenal first, Man City second. I don't think that's anything less. Third, I am really feeling Aston Villa.
Oh.
I am really feeling Aston
For
Villa.
third. That's huge. Tell us why.
I think they've made a lot of investments. I think they made smart investments, and the basis of the team was a well-drilled, what's it called? Well-drilled, managed, and quality team. Like, I think they have the infrastructure to make that push. So I'll go with them with third, and that's my gambit there. Fourth, I'm leaning towards Tottenham. I think Tottenham have made some interesting additions that are going to, what was it called, solve the problems they had with their press and solve the problems they have with their finishing. They needed a striker. They've gone out and found those runners. And then after that, so I have Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, Tottenham. Then I would go Liverpool fourth, and Liverpool fourth. I think they have a hard transition. This is normally when it normally happens. Whenever such a iconic manager leaves, it's going to take a lot of figuring out to figure out what it's going to look like moving forward. But the quality of that squad, I don't see them that dropping past 4. That's just how I feel about it. And then fifth, well, sorry, past 5. Sorry, 6.
Yeah,
sorry. So I've said
yeah.
Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, uh,
Tottenham and
Tottenham,
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Sixth, I think
Um,
West.
Oh, have mercy on United.
I'm
Come
never
on.
here United. Okay.
I think West Ham. So I kind of put Man United, and I put them in the same space of Chelsea, Newcastle, West Ham. Uh, I think Crystal Palace have lost too much. I can't really put them in there. I put them into this categories. They don't have good squads, right? And so depending on how the demand on the squad is, I feel like they will fall apart. I think Newcastle doesn't have a deep enough squad for the demands that are going to be placed on them this season. I really don't think because I think Europa is a blessing and a curse for Man United. I don't think they have a deep enough squad, so we're going to see a lot of injuries, and we're going to get to a place, not hopefully not to a place where it's Evans and Casemiro. What's it called in the defense
I hope
again?
not.
But I think it's still going to be challenging because the goal of Man United this season for me is not to kick on, is to arrest the decline. Mhm. Whereas that okay, there's an identity, there's a structure, there's a cohesion that can be built on, and the age profile of the players, what's it called that they're buying, kind of hints that they understand the problem, which is actually a positive thing. But I don't really think that's going to mean a lot. And West Ham for me, they're the team that have made the most improvement and investment without the demand on game time. So they have more time during the week to train, and they're going to have what's it called less games in the season, and I feel like that's good. That's probably going to play into their benefit, and they're going to pip teams like what's it called, Man United and Newcastle to that sixth spot. So just to confirm, Arsenal first, Man City second, Aston Villa. That's my risky put, but third. Put Liverpool fourth, Tottenham, and then after Tottenham, West Ham. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, amigos, that's controversial. Personally, coming from my perspective, but hey, that's what we do here. In the Football Amigo show. Opinions. We want to hear them. We want to hear them. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about Ayo's predictions. I think it's going to be interesting that he added Aston Villa there. Sam, I am very curious to see yours and why. Because if Ayo is telling me Aston Villa is going to try to make it to that top four, and there's no United, there's no Newcastle, Chelsea have bought everyone in the whole nation and like 5 or 10 goalkeepers, and they're still not in top four. I want to hear yours because I always made it drastically difficult based on what we have. Go for it, Sam. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Very interesting prediction, Ayo. But I do like some of your points, though. So mine is pretty straightforward, man. I still have City number one, then followed by Arsenal. That could change, but I'm seeing City, Arsenal, then Chelsea, of course. I think there's a change in mindset. There's addition, and those additions are pretty reasonable for what it is. Well, not all of them to me. Then I have,
Really?
yeah,
Really? I feel like talking about Chelsea is a
it's a
whole
whole
different
different
show
it's
in itself.
in itself.
Transfer
Yeah,
window, Chelsea
I
talk.
don't know why some of their decisions are very interesting. But just like decisions when it comes to Liverpool, man, I put Liverpool as number four. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of change going into the new season. I know the coach is trying his best. I saw a couple of games, a lot of wins during preseason. I think we drew one game. Um, I like the way we're boxing in, but I feel like we're gonna get tired pretty fast. Um, then I have, of course, I did switch this one earlier on today. I have United on my on my sixth, and followed by Newcastle. Like it could be United Newcastle battle again, but I'm gonna put United up there. I don't know, probably because I'm low key an admirer of United. But when it comes to
What?
yeah,
Amigos are gonna riot about that. The Liverpool
of
fan, Loki like United. That's
yeah,
crazy. Still love
I've
you
been
though, Sam.
I've been a United fan from from a little kid, but I have to say I think Tottenham is got some they've got a point to prove this season. I mentioned transfer, you know. I think Dominic Solanke and Son, they're gonna tear the forward apart. If you're not careful, they will run and score goals like crazy, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Sadly, I'm not looking forward to seeing Crystal Palace play because the fun that they gave us towards the end of last season, I don't think we're gonna get that this season. It will be an interesting season, but yes, I do have question with City though. I think Alvarez leaving is a big problem, but you never know. Pep is always ahead of it.
No, I
Back,
mean, just those are very interesting, Sam. I mean, compared to your list, can you give that a quick recap again on your list?
yes, I have Man City, I have
Uh-huh.
Arsenal, then I have
Yes.
Chelsea. Number
Oh
three,
wow.
Liverpool. Number four, uh,
Okay.
and number five, I have Tottenham. Then six is Man United.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you, Sam, before I give you my predictions, why do you think Chelsea will be third? Is that based on and the reason why I ask is because they have a new coach in Maresca coming from Leicester City. Yes, they did well and he built that team. He's coming to a Chelsea team that their owner just buy players just for fun. I don't know if they're buying the players based on what he wants. It's like the same thing that happened with Pochettino before he got sacked, right? What are you seeing that will make them top three that I'm not seeing? Help me understand, and amigos as well.
Yes, I think the project in Chelsea that we saw last year is just an immature. Well, no, immature. It's a premature um, outcome of what they're cooking. I think Cole Palmer is going to be on point. Even Raheem Sterling that is, getting older is going to be on point. The forward is going to be when you look at the progress of their result last season, there was a drop. But prior to that, they were having this consistent work, consistent result going on. The only thing that I have, the only problem, the only reason why I wouldn't put Chelsea as like literally like above us above Arsenal is weird to say. Is I still don't know what they're doing with that midfield. Um, but I just have belief that whatever I saw, I look at some of their highlights. If they keep playing that way, of course, let Jackson pass more and maybe score more goals. I really think they have a great chance. Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. No, again, it's all about opinions, amigos. Love to hear yours as well. Let us know what you think about Ayo's predictions. Would love to read those comments. From my perspective, I did mine based on different factors. My top six are based on if the team has a new coach, how many players have they bought or they are rumored to be buying within the next 3 weeks of the transfer window still staying open. Transfer window closes the 1st of September, right? So these clubs have about 3 weeks to make their decisions and sign their players. That's going to have a factor with that change. From my perspective, again, I would go with Man City as first. The reason why is because of how consistent they have done it over the years, the type of coach they have. Also, the fact that Julian Alvarez has left, they have players like McCarthy and Oscar Bob that can play there. They don't necessarily have to buy a player. And they also bought Salvio as well, too, remind you, from the wings, from Genoa. So they have players that can play in those positions if needed. And it's Pep. He knows what he's doing. Now, there's going to be a hearing for 100. There are 105 allegations that may play a part in their points. That's why I keep saying it's going to be an interesting season. We'll see what the court of arbitration says about that. But I will still put them as first. Arsenal will be second, again, because of the consistency, because of the environment that Arteta has built, the players they've bought. It's interesting, though, Ayo. I would love to hear your opinion, probably in another segment. It seems like Arsenal has changed strategy in terms of bringing in young players. It seems to me that they are very picky now with the young players they bring into the squad. I'd love to hear your opinions about that towards the end there. Obi Martin was one of the players that they let go at 16, and Manchester United bought him. And there's a lot of hype around him, but again, he's 16. We'll see. But it just seems to me that they released a lot of academy players.
We didn't release him so much as he left.
Right. But there were other academy
Mhm.
players that were released, and that could be maybe because Arsenal is planning to actually buy better players than them. Again, I'd love to hear your opinions about that
Yeah.
towards the
Mhm.
end. But in terms of what Arsenal has, the environment they have, Calafiori being added to that team, some of the defenders they're also getting back in Euron Timber, I can see them being second. Third will be Liverpool. The reason why I have Liverpool as third, again, they have Arne Slot. He has a style of play. He has a system. He played against us. He beat us in that system. He beat the Real Betis team that is pretty good in that system. And they're only going to get better. He's going to give a lot of players opportunities that are young if they don't buy enough players this season. I know the fact that they didn't get to buy Zubimendi doesn't mean they won't go for other players that fits in there. So looking forward to seeing that. Of course, Manchester United will be fourth. Again, we have a lot of things to be encouraged about. We have a new coaching staff team. Like that's a whole team in itself that we have around Ten Hag. And then we have, from the administrative standpoint, we have a whole different team that handles not just player development, but the new director of football, new technical director. We have a new CEO. We have that in place, and they're already working well based on some of the decisions they've made recently. And then, of course, we have players that we've bought recently in the shape of Obi Martin. He's one of the youngest ones, but we bought him. We have Xerxes. We have Euro. He'll be back in 3 months. Looking forward to seeing him there, hopefully in 6 weeks. We have Matsurawi and Delit as of yesterday. We're thinking of Ugarte as well. We're also thinking another left back, possibly Aktakoglu from Turkey, from Fenerbahce. We're thinking about him as well. He can play about 6 positions. Again, very encouraging. That's why I think they'll be fourth. I feel like they'll have enough depth. Fifth will be Aston Villa. Why Aston Villa? Very close to the point you made, Ayo. Some of the transfers they've made this season has been very good. They not only did they buy players that they need for certain positions to start the game, they also bought young players that can come in from the bench and have the same quality close to what they have starting. Aston Villa is going to be very interesting, amigos. Let's keep an eye on them. I feel like they're going to be a wild horse. Newcastle, reason being because they are going to make more signings towards the end of the transfer window based on the rumors I've heard. Very curious to see who they buy. To your point, Sam and Ayo, they do need squad depth. I will give them that. So that's why I have them lower on the table, because they need to just bring a little bit more quality to their squad, not to starting lineup, to the squad itself. And then last, I have, well, it's technically 6, but I do want to mention West Ham as an honorary mention as 7th. Reason being, West Ham, to me, and of course, we can debate about this, amigos. Like, share, and subscribe. West Ham have done really good business this transfer window. They bought Fulkrug. They bought 4 other players that I cannot think on top of my head now. That specific, Wan-Bissaka is one of them yesterday, by the way. They've bought players in the positions that they need. They have a new coach as well, Lopetegui. He has a system of play. West Ham is going to be very interesting this season. We might not see it in the first couple of games, but I do think they will do well. But again, it's the Premier League. It's unpredictable. You have Bournemouth beating bigger teams. You just don't know. Again, amigos, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about all 3 predictions. Again, amigos, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. We will be back with more content for you. Stay tuned. There's going to be more content this season. You're going to hear from a stats perspective. You're going to hear from a coaching perspective. And you're going to hear from a combination of both, and also from a fan perspective as well, too. So, again, let your friends know. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us. Let us know your thoughts. And we will talk to you soon. As always, amigos, stay positive. Talk to you all soon. Take care.